here with another video for you. Today I am going to demonstrate the way that I make an omelette. The reason that I'm doing this is because it's a good, healthy, quick snack. It will help you to maintain lower body fat, keep that muscle that you hopefully have built up by now. It's very simple, not messy, and all you're going to need is a Tupperware container with a sealable lid with the no drips lid type thing, some cheese, I use edam, pepper, that's my choice. These are called grape tomatoes, not cherry tomatoes, some onion, and I use some pre-bought crushed garlic just because I don't use garlic enough to warrant buying cloves of garlic all the time. And of course the main ingredient of an omelette, eggs. Now in here I've got 2, 4, 6, 7, and they are a size 8 eggs, so they're large. What we're going to do is just crack those and pop them into the container, and yes, I am using the yolks and the whites, all of them. Debate the cholesterol if you like. Personally, as I have told a few of the people that I know outside of the internet and in the real world, I have eaten approximately 35,000 eggs in my lifetime. I worked it out one day when I was really bored. And that was all the yolks. That was me experimenting with raw, experimenting with cooked. So yeah, needless to say, I'm nearly 40. I'm not dead. I'm not nearly dead. I'm actually in the best shape of my life physically. I am injured at the moment, but that's beside the point. That was from my training. I've got all the eggs in there now. So that is 7 size 8 eggs, which equates to about 11, I presume, maybe even 12 normal size 6 or size 5 eggs. So they're sitting in there waiting. Get my cheese, just a normal block, and I'm not going to take much off. Maybe, I don't know, 30 grams, 20 grams, 30 grams. Not a huge amount of cheese. And I'm just going to put it into little cubes. Makes it easier when it cooks for it to melt on the, or get absorbed into, I should say, into the food as it goes through. There you go, that's all done. That'll make it a nice thick and rich omelette. Okay, so just my little tomatoes. I just cut these into 4, sometimes into 6, but for speed today I'm doing it into 4s, just into quarters. When you're doing this, please watch your fingers. Here we are, maybe one more. Now this is, you know, a snack for me. This would be a lot of people's supper, if they were going to have it for themselves. Supper being the evening meal. It varies in name from country to country. Supper, dinner, tea, evening meal itself. So whatever you want to call it. Maybe even have it for lunch or even breakfast. It's always good to have it at breakfast. You really ideally want meat at breakfast time rather than cereals. But if you do have cereals, make sure that you have some vitamin C alongside of your cereals. That helps to absorb the iron that you're going to get from the cereals, and the protein as well. Okay, so as you can tell, I'm just rattling through it. I like having the seeds in there as well, other people don't. If you make cooking your friend, it becomes so quick and easy to make a meal like this that it stops being a hassle and it stops being a, oh, what can I eat type of situation. Now with the garlic, just the tip of the end, a little bit much, just the tip of the end, you don't want it too strong, and then just stir it in. You don't really want to break the egg yolks very much, because you actually want to break those when you're cooking rather than beforehand. There is a reason for that as well, which I cannot remember right at this moment, but I remembered that it's something to do with they will stay fluffy if they're left whole when you start cooking, whereas they go hard if you break them and, like most people, give them a real good stir up before you actually start cooking. So I've got a little bit of my special salt, like that Himalayan stuff that you get from the supermarkets, black pepper, and as always with me, I like spices, so I've got hot chili powder going in, very hot chili powder. If you're in Christchurch, you buy it on Blenheim Road down past XLR8 where you get all your sports equipment. Okay, so the mixture is in there. I've already got my butter. I don't use oils to cook with. My butter in an iron skillet pan. The reason for that being that I'll go into that in a minute, but that's already in there. The hot plate's already hot, so you literally just 4 or 5 little shakes. Carefully open her up. And as you can see, I'm pouring it in. It's pretty much an omelette already, it's just waiting to be cooked. Last couple of bits of cheese in there. So whilst that's now cooking, being a good chef, you will of course be tidying up as you go along. It will take a wee while for the omelette to go, so I will just clean up. Which means that by the time of finishing cooking, you won't have any washing up left to do either, other than whatever you eat your omelette out of or off of. So you might only have 1 fork, 1 plate as washing up. The reason for using the iron skillet pan is very simple. People quite often lack iron in their diet, and it's a very quick and easy way of assuring yourself the iron that you need in your daily amounts. And that's just by frying in that, because the iron does actually leach out. It sounds like a horrible description, but it goes from the iron pan into your cooking food, and therefore you now have a fresh daily source of iron just from using the utensils that you're cooking with. You've not added anything to your meals, you've not used supplements, you've not had to go out and buy expensive supplement which has got 17 different minerals and vitamins and all the rest of it, and take one a day and they're like 70 bucks. All you've done is got yourself a frying pan that's a decent one. These ones have lasted me 12 years, so the $180 that it was 12 years ago for, I think, a set of 3 of them, I think one of them I've lost now, but for a set of 3 has more than paid for itself in how much money I've saved on having to have iron supplements and calcium, magnesium, zinc and all the rest of it as well to go along with the iron so it can be absorbed. As I said before when I was doing it, I've now got all my washing up done, all my tidying up done, the omelette's cooking. I've explained to you why I'm using an iron skillet, and people say they haven't got enough time to make themselves food. I wonder why. It's because they try and clean up afterwards, they try and do everything, one thing then another. Get it all done at once, folks. That's very nearly done. I've got 2 pink ones, by the way. One for washing up and one for drying up. They're not the same one that I wiped the dish with. So there's my plate ready. The oven is on and it's bubbling away. I'm going to come and grab the camera and show you. So this is the omelette being cooked. So you've got your tomatoes in there, you've got the eggs being done, the butter's looks like a lot of excess fat, but it's just around the edges, and that will actually help me get the omelette out properly at the end of it. So as you can see, that's cooking very nicely. I'll return you guys back up to there so you can now see what happens when it comes out. As I say, that's cooking. Get my little spatula ready, and all I've got to do is just try and take the edge up slightly around the edge on the outsides. It's cooking beautifully. Cooking exactly how an omelette should. And the advantage of not having those egg yolks completely broken up to begin with has meant that it's got that real nice yellow flavour to it now. So it's not pale white. A lot of omelettes you'll see got this real white colouring to them. That's probably because they use oil for a start off, and it's probably because they use 1 egg yolk to 3 egg whites, something like that, or 1 to 4, whatever they decided that some doctor on TV told them would be the right proportions to eat it at. Not saying that all doctors say that, but it's quite misleading when you look at doctors on television and the types of foods they tell you to avoid. Sometimes you really wonder if they got their degree on the back of a Weet-Bix pack. Obviously they're bright, they're a doctor, but obviously common sense comes into play here. I'm healthy and I'm active. Injured currently, so not as active as normal, but most health professionals would shudder at the size of the meal that I'm having there, with the protein, the fats and all the cholesterol. A chap in Aussie, who will remain nameless but he will know exactly who he is, trains in a very similar way to me, using the intermittent fasting and then the half day before eating again. We're not saying that we gorge out on stuff, but what we do is prime ourselves with the correct nutrition at the right time. I've already trained today about 45-50 minutes ago, so I'm ready to eat now. To me and for my body, no matter what anyone else says or tells me, that is my optimal time post-workout to eat, replenish all my glycogen stores, which in turn help me to get the energy that I need. It helped me to stay as fit as I am, as healthy as I am. I would be injured for a lot longer if I wasn't this fit and I didn't eat the way I did, because my body would be screaming out for repair and regrowth all the time. Learn your body. That's the outcome of this video pretty much. Too many people will read and listen to what someone else says and apply it to their body. Why? It's not your body it was trialled out on. It was used on their body. The person, like, I will suggest to people a way to eat. They can try it or not try it. But I won't push it on people. I have asked clients in the past to eat a lot more than they were currently. That is for a very simple reason, of the fact that if you are not eating enough food, that can be just as detrimental as eating too much food. Striking that balance. Balance is the one word that you will hear a lot of the time when it comes to weight management, which to other people out there these days that means fat loss, weight loss. We're not allowed to use or say that people are fat anymore for some strange reason. They get offended by it. If you get offended by it, change it. I did. I was fed up with being fat. I was fed up with calling myself fat, other people mentioning that I was fat, that I'd got large. So I went out and I did a personal training course and I changed my life. I went from a 40-inch waist to a 31-inch waist. That was in the space of 4 months. I dropped from 93 to 95 kilos, all the way down to 72 kilos in that 3-4 month period. And that was from pure pig-headedness, stubbornness, exercising every single day. I ran 5.4 kilometers daily down a beach which was shingle, so that means it's nice big hand-sized rocks. And I ate 3 meals a day. They weren't the healthiest meals in the world, but the fact that I had changed my diet from eating the 5 or 6 large meals and snacking all day to having just 3 proper meals a day at set times, sitting down and eating, changed the whole of my life. I've described in the last couple of weeks to a few people that I know that losing 5 kilograms is life-changing. To lose 10 kilograms means you need to change your life. And that's one of the best phrases I'd like people to take from this video as well, is with your body there will be a set number of kilograms that's life-changing for you to lose. But in order for you to get to your goal that you want to get to, that's life-changing again, but it's a change of lifestyle that will get you that life. Okay, so it is, rather than, oh, my hobby, my pastime is fitness, it's I lead a healthy lifestyle and then I socialise, rather than the other way round, which is very prevalent here in New Zealand. I'm not sure about the rest of the world, but it is here, is I socialise, then I train. And that's probably why there's a lot of people over here carrying that extra 1 or 2 inches on the whole of their body, because they don't have the priorities at this stage in their life that will help them to lead a longer, healthier life. And that's worrying. It's a mentality over here. They love having fun, the Kiwis, but I wonder at what cost later on in life their health, the toll that will take on their health, and also financially later in life when they're having to get treatments for different diseases that they've got, different health issues and problems and complications, all because they decided that Thursday and Friday was go out on the piss time rather than train and hang out with mates that way. The drinking culture, smoking culture around the world is a massive factor as to why a lot of people are overweight, a lot of people are unhealthy. Little blob of cheese there. So yeah, in order to succeed, pretty much, people, you have got to change your way of living. It sounds daunting, but it's not really. If you've got someone there to support you, that's great. I didn't have anyone, so it was all my own head, it was all my own doing. So I had someone I was doing it for in my head. My daughter gave me the inspiration to change my life. I wasn't heading down a very good path with the way I was leading it, and the health and everything like that was hugely evident as to why that was not working. Fill your pan up with some water when you finish and stick it back on the heat. That helps you to clean it in about 10 minutes time. So yeah, basically have fun. Make an omelette if you want one, if you want to. Otherwise, I just hope you enjoyed the video and the chatting along with it. I'm going to tuck into that because I'm starving. So speak to you again soon. Bye.